Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcasting to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, President Trump's special advisor for international negotiations meets with Prime Minister Netanyahu in Jerusalem to test the waters for renewal of negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians. An Iraqi Shi'ite militia trained and backed by Iran that entered the fighting in Syria to support President Bashar Assad has formed a new brigade next to Israel's northern border with a declared target of liberating the Golan from all foreign forces. The American computer company Intel announces it would purchase Israel's driverless technology firm Mobileye for $15.3 billion, the biggest technological takeover in Israel's history. U.S. President Donald Trump's special advisor for international negotiations, Jason Greenblatt, met last night in Jerusalem with Prime Minister Netanyahu. During their meeting, Netanyahu and Greenblatt discussed Israel's construction policy on lands the Palestinians demand for a future state, among other challenges pertaining to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. After the meeting, Trump's special advisor tweeted that it had been positive and very productive, adding that he appreciated the Israeli leader's commitment to the partnership with the United States. Jason Greenblatt, who is Jewish and perceived as pro-Israeli, served in the past as President Trump's real estate attorney. He has spoken out on several occasions in favor of a two-state solution, and at the same time argued that settlements are not an obstacle to peace. Meanwhile, Israeli officials who said they are familiar with the substance of the meeting between the Israeli Prime Minister and Trump's advisor told TV7 that Greenblatt was sent to the region to test the waters in advance of a possible summit that will be brokered by Washington between President Donald Trump, Prime Minister Netanyahu, and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Last Friday, President Trump spoke on the phone with the Palestinian president in a first conversation since the American leader took office on the 20th of January. At the end of their conversation, Abbas was invited for a visit to Washington and for an official meeting with the American president. A senior Palestinian official said that President Abbas would meet with President Trump in the White House at the beginning of next month. The senior Palestinian official assessed that Trump would offer the Palestinian leader a deal which would include a resumption of the long-stalled negotiations with Israel in exchange for an immediate halt of Israel's settlement expansion and an American commitment not to move the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. He further assessed that the Palestinian president would accept the American deal. The Palestinian official also revealed that the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan was due to host in the near future Israeli, Palestinian, and American representatives to discuss a plan to restart negotiations with a specific timetable. Now to a related matter, Martin Indyk, who served as U.S. ambassador to Israel and a Middle East envoy for Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, declared in an interview to Israeli media that U.S. President Trump had changed his decision on moving the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Indyk noted that even though President Trump would like to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, he now understands the consequences that may follow if he would make the move. Now, with regard to the ongoing war in Israel's northern neighbor, the Syrian military is reportedly making gains in its battle against the Islamic State near the city of Palmyra. According to reports from the ground, the Syrian army managed to retake an area called Sabha el-Mau, located south of Palmyra, after intensive battles reportedly claimed the lives of many Islamic State militants. Under heavy Russian air cover, the Syrian army that fights alongside Iranian forces, the Lebanese Hezbollah, and other Shiite Muslim militias managed to drive the Islamic State out of the UNESCO World Heritage City on the 2nd of March, 2 months after the extreme Muslim group seized the city in a surprise advance. It was the second time the city had been recaptured from the Islamic State in the course of the bloody Syrian conflict, which entered this week its 6th year. Meanwhile, in the Syrian Golan region, not far from the border with Israel, equipped with Russian-made tanks, Iranian rockets, and operating as an elite unit trained by the Islamic Republic, an Iraqi Shi'ite militia that entered the fighting in Syria in 2013 to support President Bashar Assad, has formed a new brigade with a declared target of liberating the Golan from all foreign forces. The Golan Brigade, which according to security experts openly declares its loyalties to the commander of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard's Quds Force, Qasem Soleimani, has been trained and equipped with advanced weaponry. In recent months, there have been records of the Shiite militia fighters equipped with Russian T-90 tanks, which according to defense experts were acquired indirectly from Russia through the Syrian military. According to an Israeli official who asked to remain anonymous, Prime Minister Netanyahu's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin last week came in response to the formation of this Iranian-backed militia on Israel's border region. Netanyahu conveyed to Putin that Israel will not tolerate permanent Iranian presence in Syria and hopes Moscow will act to avoid active Israeli measures to confront the growing Iranian threat. Now to Israel's southwestern border with Egypt, where images have emerged of Islamic State militants manning checkpoints and performing security inspections in the city of El Arish, located in the northern Sinai Peninsula. The Islamic State published pictures of its fighters armed with assault rifles and rocket-propelled grenades moving through traffic and inspecting the IDs of Egyptian drivers. Al Arish is the capital of the North Sinai and the largest city on the entire peninsula. The city also lies at the heart of friction between Egyptian security forces and the extreme Muslim group. In recent months, the Islamic State in the lawless Sinai Peninsula has declared its priorities, the first of which was to target Christians living on the territory they control, secondly, target the Egyptian military and security forces loyal to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and thirdly, to annihilate the Jewish state. Now back to Israel, where the American computer company Intel announced it would purchase Israel's driverless technology firm Mobileye for $15.3 billion, positioning itself for a dominant role in the autonomous driving sector. The $63.54 per share cash deal is the biggest technology takeover in Israel's history and the largest purchase of a company solely focused on the self-driving sector. Intel will integrate its automated driving group with Mobileye's operations, with the combined entity being run by Mobileye's chairman Amnon Shashua from Israel.
That's a vote of confidence for the Israeli tech industry. For a bit less than $15 billion, that's by far the biggest deal for the Israeli tech industry. Just a few years ago, when Google bought Waze for a bit more than $1 billion, that was a huge news here in Israel. But now for $15 billion, that's very big news and very big success for Israel.
Mobileye accounts for some 70% of the global market for driver assistance and anti-collision systems. It employs 660 people and had adjusted net income of $173.3 million just last year. Intel said it expected the transaction to close within the next 9 months and to immediately boost its non-GAAP earnings per share and free cash flow. Thank you for watching us. You can also watch us at TV7israelnews.com or TV7.fi. For any comments, please send your emails to israelnews@tv7.fi. For more updates from Israel and the region, please join our Facebook page at TV7 Israel News. Praying for the peace of Israel and the peace of Jerusalem. I'm Jonathan Hessen, Erev Tov, and we will see you again tomorrow at the same time.
In order to donate to TV7 Israel News, please follow these simple steps. First, press the Donate logo, located at the bottom left side of TV7 Israel News Facebook page, or on the Donate tab at the head of the page. Then insert the amount you'd like to donate, and fill in your credit card information. Just like this. And press Review Donation and continue. After reviewing your donation details, please press Donate to finalize your donation. That's it! Your donation is now complete, and an email with your donation details has been sent to your email address. You can also print your donation receipt by pressing the link here. Thank you for supporting TV7 Israel News.